ONE80 Kids, Zoe here. And this morning, I get to be the one that shares the story with you. So this morning, we're going to read about the singer. And that's from the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 6:9 and Luke 12. So wherever Jesus went, lots of people went too. They loved being near him. Old people and young people, all kinds of people came to see Jesus. Sick people and well people, happy people, sad people, and worried people. Lots of them. Worrying about a lot of things. Oh, what if we don't have enough food or clothes, or suppose we run out of money? What if there isn't enough and everything goes wrong and we won't be all right? What then? When Jesus saw all the people, his heart was filled with love for them. They were like a little flock of sheep that didn't have a shepherd to take care of them. So Jesus sat them all down and he talked to them. The people sat quietly on the grassy mountainside and listened. From where they sat, they could see the blue lake glittering below them and the little fishing boats coming right in from the night's catch. And the spring air was fresh and clear. See those birds over there? Jesus said. Everyone looked. Little sparrows were pecking at the seeds on the stony path. Where do they get their food? Perhaps they have pantries all stocked up and cabinets full of food. Everyone laughed. Who's ever seen a bird with a bag of groceries? No, Jesus said, they don't need to worry about that because God knows what they need and he feeds them. And what about these wild flowers? Everyone looked. All around them were flowers growing, anemones and daisies, pure white lilies. Where do they get their lovely clothes? Do they make them? Or do they go to work every day so they can buy them? Do they have full closets of clothes? Everyone laughed again. Who's ever seen a flower putting on a dress? No, Jesus said. They don't need to worry about that because God clothes them in royal robes of splendor. Not even a king is that well dressed. They had never met a king, but as they gazed out over the lake, glittering and sparkling below them, the hillsides dressed in reds and purples and gold, they felt a great burden lift from their hearts. They could not imagine anything more beautiful. Little flock, Jesus said, you are more important than birds, more important than flowers. The birds and the flowers don't sit and worry about things, and God doesn't want his children to worry either. God loves to look after the birds and the flowers, and he loves to look after you too. He loves to look after you. Jesus knew that God would always love and watch over the world he had made and everything in it, birds and flowers and trees and animals and everything, and most of all, his children. Even though people had forgotten, the birds and the flowers hadn't forgotten. They still knew their song. It was the song all of God's creation had sung to him from the very beginning. It was the song people's hearts were made to sing. God made us. He loves us. He's very pleased with us. It was why Jesus had to come into the world to sing them that wonderful song, to sing it not only with his voice, but with his whole life, so that God's children could remember it and join in and sing it too. So the other day, I was with a friend of mine. We were having a little social distance date, and we were in our cars, and our windows were down. We were kind of far apart. It was really cold outside, and it was getting dark, and we had blankets pulled up over us, and it felt like it was gonna snow. It was so cold. And I looked out my window, and there was this little bird like fluttering right behind my window that was open. And then he came and he landed on my window ledge. And I was like, oh my goodness, you must be so cold. And he just tilted his little head at me. And as I talked to him, I kept talking to him. And he just kind of like hopped up onto my blanket. And then he hopped up onto my chest. And then pretty soon he just like tucked himself up underneath my neck. And I could feel how cold he was. And he was just like shivering from the cold. And I just kept talking to my friend. And I thought, oh God, he was so cold and you gave him a warm place to be. And he sat there for a few minutes actually. And then he kind of hopped back out and my girlfriend took a picture of him and he flew away. But I thought, how cool that God really does care about the little things, you guys. He knew that little bird was so cold, and at the right time, he sent me and my friend there in that park at that time so that little bird could have a moment and get warm. And that's what he does for you too. He cares about the little things. If he cares for a little bird and warms him up in the middle of a cold night, he definitely cares about you, his kids. So God bless you guys. And think about God when you think of the things that you need, all the little things that come to your heart. He's got it all, and he's got you, and he loves you. Bye, 180 Kids.